Welcome to our lesson number 3, which is for the tension members using the welded connections. Or let us first have the simple connections. So for the simple connections, if the line of action of the resultant force to be resisted passes through the center of gravity of the connection, each part of the connection is assumed to resist an equal share of load, and the connection is called simple connection. So ibig sabihin lang daw nito kung yung ating force or the resultant force nagpa-pass through doon sa center of gravity ng connection natin, then that is what we call the simple connection. Okay, so recall lang natin, di ba? Sabi ko nga sa inyo, those connections are the bolted and the welded. Okay, so for the bolted shear connections, we have the single plate connection. We also have the double angle connection. Then for the welded shear connections, we have the fillet welds and then the groove welds. So ano ba yung tinatawag natin ngayong welding? So welding is a permanent method of joining steel members by melting and fusing them together using heat. Okay, so unlike bolted connections, welded joints eliminate the need for bolts and plates, providing continuous load transfer and high strength. So ito yung common na ginagamit natin for connecting structural steel materials. Okay, so ang ginagawa lang natin dito is may minamelt or may fino-fuse tayo together using heat. And then, hindi siya katulad ni bolted na kailangan mo ng bolts, okay? So, ibig sabihin, it provide continuous load transfer. Unlike kay bolts na kumbaga parang ini-stress niya yung material natin. So what are the welding process? So we have different kinds of welding process. The first one is the SMAW or the shielded metal arc welding. So this is also known as stick welding. This is one of the most commonly used welding processes for structural steel, and it uses flux-coated electrode that melts to form the weld while the flux create a protective shield against atmospheric contamination. So ito yung pinaka-common kasi ito yung nabibili din sa mga hardware. Okay, na kung saan yan yung mga nakikita nating welding rod. Okay? Next welding process is the gas metal arc welding or the GMAW. So dito, it is also commonly known as metal inert gas welding. Kasi ang ginagawa dito is gumagamit siya ng continuous wire electrode and a shielding gas. Okay, gas yung ginagamit mismo. Di siya katulad nung kanina na SMAW na meron siyang rod. Okay, ito as in gas lang talaga na nanggagaling dun sa pinaka-machine or tangke. So this is widely used for fast, high-quality welding in structural steel. Next naman is the flux cored arc welding or the FCOW. So this one, it combines the advantages of the shielded metal arc welding and then the gas metal arc welding. Na kung saan may rod ka na, mayroon ka pang gas. Okay, so kung talagang masyado siyang kumbaga parang matibay yung nangyayari sa kanya. Okay, kasi the FCOW is widely used in structural steel, shipbuilding, and heavy fabrication. So, ibig sabihin talagang kailangan mo ng malakas. Okay, so therefore, the flux cored arc welding is the best to use. Aside from that is also the submerged arc welding or the SAW. Automatic or semi-automatic welding process. So, ito naman ang nangyayari. Granular naman yung meron kang flux. Hindi siya yung buo katulad ng SMAW. Okay, so dito naman ang nangyayari, nilulusaw ng gas yung granular flux blanket na inilalagay. Okay, so this process is widely used for thick steel plates, long welds, and heavy fabric. Now, what are the types of welds? First is the groove or butt weld. So, dito, ang ginagawa ay kung meron kang butas, yung dalawang plate mo, ang gagawin mo lang, lalagyan mo lang sila ng weld. Okay? I-weld mo lang siya sa pagitan nila para mabuo. Okay? Next is the plug and slot weld. So, kung meron kang parang butas, okay, ang ginagawa ngayon natin dyan mo nalalagyan yung pinaka-weld niya. Okay, yung pinakabutas niya para maging as one na siya or isang solid. Okay? Next is the T-welding joint. So ito, this is common na ginagamit natin. Kasi paano pag halimbawa gusto mong gumawa ng T-section, okay, hindi mo naman pwedeng pagpatungin lang sila basta, 'di ba? Hindi naman yan katulad um, ng kahoy na gamitan mo ng wood glue or ng glue tapos madidikit na siya. So dito, ang ginagawa natin, hindi mo rin naman pwedeng, baga lulusawin mo muna yung part na to, yung pinaka ilalim niya, tapos tsaka nyo ilalagay sa kabila. So hindi naman po nangyayari yun. So nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng fillet weld dito sa kanilang corner. So, next is the lap weld. So, paano naman pag lapping? Okay, kapag meron kang dalawang peraso na ang gusto mo ay magkapatong pero hindi sila magkatapat. So, ginagamitan naman din natin ito. Dito natin sila wine-weld sa isang corner ng isang plate. Okay? Then, the edge weld. Paano naman pag may gusto tayong pag-combine na magkatapat yung kanilang dulo, yung isang dulo. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we do the edge weld kasi sa edges tayo nagdalagay. Okay, so now, let us talk about the fillet weld. So, the fillet weld is the type of weld used to join two metal pieces at a 90-degree or other angle. So, most of the time, 90-degree naman talaga. Gusto kasi natin gumawa ng nakatayo. Okay? So, ngayon, ang mangyayari sa fillet weld natin, hindi natin masasabi yung accurate na shape niya. Okay? Kasi tignan mo dito. Halimbawa, binuo natin yan. Hindi mo na masasabi na triangle yan kasi kung tutuusin, ano, meron siyang pagkaka-curve. Okay? So, kaya natin siya tinatawag na fillet. Okay? So, dito, ang ginagawa natin ay ina-assume natin na sila ay parang gumagawa lang din ng pa-triangle. Okay? Pero meron pa din na kahit pa paano ito nga, mayroon pa kasi siya, 'di ba, na curve. Okay? So, paano naman natin sinosolve ngayon si fillet weld? So, we have the stress in fillet weld using the same formula of PA, P over A. Okay? P over A pa rin siya na force over the area. But take note, ng area natin, we are talking about the fillet weld. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito lang yung pag-uusapan natin, yung mismong fillet. Okay? So, ano yung area niyan? Siyempre, hindi natin alam, di ba? So, ngayon, meron tayong makukuha na, sabi nga natin, di ba, it is considered as a right triangle. Parang consider na lang siya na as a right triangle, pero we still have to consider yung pagkaka-curve niya. So, with this, you have your thickness, okay? Kasi yung thickness, kahit pa paano naman, di ba, yan nga, meron tayong consideration dyan or meron tayong sinusunod na code para malaman mo ano yung thickness na gagamitin mo. And we know that na possible yan na mag 45 degrees. So, in this case, the area, okay, yung nakikita nating area ngayon dito ay si W multiplied by cosine 45. Okay? So, that is the thickness of the weld. Okay? So, kapag ginawa natin si cosine 45, sa decimal niya, siya ay 0.707 WL. And that is already your A. Okay? So, if that is the case, that is 0.707, okay? And sabi sa atin that the stress in fillet weld is equal daw kay 0.6 FEXX. Okay, ano si FEXX? That is the tensile strength of the weld. Okay, that is the tensile strength of the weld. And para makuha natin ngayon si allowable, okay? Allowable na agad. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay PN over factor of safety na kaagad. Okay? Ang PN natin ngayon should be this one. The 0.6 FEXX multiplied by 0.707 WL, and we divide it by 2 because of the factor of safety. Then therefore, the allowable strength for fillet weld is 0.3 FEXX times 0.707 WL. Okay? So, yun lang naman din. But, dito na lang din sa atin, take note that W is the weld size or the weld thickness, length of L is the length of the weld, T is the throat of the weld, F and V, same pa din tayo. So that is the weld shear strength. FEXX is the weld ultimate tensile strength. And actually, si ultimate tensile strength, pag hindi binibigay, meron naman tayong pwedeng pagbasihan. If your weld is E60XX, yung 60 kasi na yan, that is the KSI, okay, in English. But if we convert that into SI, that is equal to 415 megapascal. For E70XX naman, that is 70 KSI, equivalent to 485 megapascals. E80XX is 80 KSI, and that is equivalent to 550 megapascals. But take note again, na ito po ay kapag lang hindi given. Okay? Kapag hindi given, ito gagamitin ninyo. Pero pag hindi given, pag given naman, kung ano given, yun gagamitin. Okay, but take note of this, that we have code again. Okay? So, there is a minimum size of fillet weld. Okay, take note, minimum size. So, ito yung minimum niya. If the material thickness of thicker part joined, okay, to 6 mm inclusive, or ibig sabihin hanggang 6 mm inabot, okay, then your minimum size of fillet weld should be 3 mm. But if it is over 6 mm hanggang sa 12 mm, then your minimum is 5 mm. If over 12 mm to 20 mm naman siya, then your minimum is 6 mm. But if over 20 mm yung thickness ng inyong material, then the minimum is 8 mm. So take note that this is the minimum. Aside from minimum, syempre may maximum. Hindi yun pwede na habang kumakapal yung welding natin ay yun na yung mas okay. Okay, so we still have to get the maximum size. Okay, may permit lang din kasi tayo. So the material less than 6 mm thick. Okay, so that should be not greater than the thickness of the material. So ibig sabihin, kung yung material mo is 5 mm, dapat ang thickness mo din ng weld should be 5 mm. Okay, yan na yung kanyang maximum. Okay, next, material 6 mm or more. Sabihin, mas mataas sa 6 mm yung thickness niya. Not greater than the thickness of the material minus 1.6 mm. So, ibig sabihin, kung yung material mo is 12 mm, babawasan mo lang pala siya ng 1.6, ibig sabihin, 10.4 mm ang magiging maximum mo. Okay? Are we clear with that? So now, kung kay bolts ay may staggered connection, kay welding, we have to balance the weld group. Okay? Hindi laging pantay ang pagkaka-welding sa ating structural steel. Okay? So, may time na hindi sila pantay. Like, for example, ito. Yung nasa taas, mas maikli kaysa dun sa nasa ibaba. So, we have to balance that. Okay? And how do we balance that? The same formula from the statics. Ang gagawin lang natin is the equilibrium. Okay? So, therefore, that is just summation of forces horizontal is equal to 0. So, with that, makukuha lang natin na P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Ma'am, saan nakuha si P1, P2 at P3? Take note na meron kang tension para sa isang length mo, may tension ka para sa panibagong length mo, at meron ka ulit tension sa isa pang length. Okay? So, yun lang naman din. Gagamitin lang din natin yung konsepto ni statics. Now, what are the base metal shear? So, for the base metal shear, this refers to the shear failure occurring in the parent or the base metal itself, not in the weld. So, ibig sabihin daw pala nito ay nagkakaroon ka ng shear dito sa base metal kung ang failure mo is nandun sa mismong base mo. Okay? Hindi siya nagkaroon ng sira dahil lang sa weld. Okay? So this happens when applied shear force exceeds the base material shear strength or 0.4 Fy. It is critical failure mode in welded joints, especially when the base metal is weaker than the weld. Then weld metal shear. The weld metal may fail before the base metal if it has lower shear strength or poor weld quality. So, pag naman mas hindi mo nasunod kung ano yung mga nakalagay sa code natin, possible na si weld naman yung magkaroon ng shearing. Okay, so let us move now to the sample problems and that will be on the next part.